about Cauley-Stein again? Oh!
Young gets the three. Give Cauley-Stein an assist on both of them.
Going to do with hand checking and the arm bar, and they've got to enforce that rule. Young is warming up from deep. Not to take them. And then they throw it away. Wow! What a look from James Young. Young and Polson couldn't make the connection. And on the backside, Young bails him out with a defense. There's Aaron with another steal. And Andrew with the outlet. Harrison to Young. Randall with another rebound. Moving the ball up the floor quickly. Nice move into Young in the corner. No, he always told me just give the ball to Dampier and get out of the way. Good shot.
And that's the type of shot that you're going to expect to see from James Young this year.
Mostly because Michigan State is really packing it in.
Young for three. This is his game, and Kentucky's finally on the board. Harris gets inside, rejected by Cauley-Stein. James Young. Nicely done off the window, and Kentucky back within 7.
But Kentucky cannot be as hesitant as they've been, especially Julius Randle. He's got to catch it and make a quick move.
From the corner, James Young with his second three of the night.
It's just way too easy. Ball screen defense for Kentucky has not been good.
15 for Harris. Young wide open, his third three of the game.
Basket.
Brandon Dawson playing a lot of 4 tonight for the Spartans and doing a good job on Randall. The drive will go as James Young is keeping Kentucky in this game right now. Crossover by Young. Not just a shooter, Joe.
Quality of shot will Kentucky get coming down the stretch? Will they settle or will they get something good?
Tough shot. Young follows it up and gets it to go to make it a 5-point game.
Young scoop shot, gets it to go. Nicely done by the freshman from Michigan. Done, he can really score. Randall into the lane, stripped away. Lucky Jones. Jones loses it off his leg. Kentucky basketball. There's that skip pass. Cauley-Stein to Harrison. Randall lost the handle. Another skip pass. Young.
Well, Julius Randle is answering some questions.
Aaron Harrison leads all scorers with 15 in this one. Young weaves his way inside, +1.
Watch where he is and watch where that arm goes. He's on the right side.
Young the lob.
Got it. Kentucky's running hard and Robert Morris is not.
Myers-Pate can't hit. It has been a tough start to the season for Anthony Myers-Pate. Look out. James Young
Can bring it on a bounce or two and throw really good passes up ahead.
Ball Newton comes down with it. Hawkins ball fake, and it slapped away, rejected.
Young for three, nailed it. Inside to Randall. Slipped out of his hands, got it back, falls down. Ball live for Young, nails another three. So the hard work by James Young in practice the last 2 days apparently paying off. They jumped on Robert Morris very quickly in Sunday night's victory here at Rupp Arena. And James Young on fire. How about Young here tonight? Has hit all 3 of his shots, 4-4 at the line. He's got 13 points. Yeah. Dillard on the drive, shot rejected. Dunk missed by Walker. Alley-oop, dunk not missed by Young.
And you see just back and forth, get the ball to your point guard. The defense commits, he throws it up high, and Young knows what.
Young starts the second half the way he started the game by knocking down a three. That's his fourth three-pointer of the game.
And rebounding the basketball. You talk about running the floor, rebounding, sometimes just a matter of effort going after the ball.
Another block shot for Kentucky. Young fouled on his way to the basket, gets the basket, and he'll go to the line.
Anytime you see that transition, a good defensive play leading to points on the other end, James Young just uses
the ball. Young got caught in no man's land, didn't know whether to pass or shoot, and then banked it in.
When in doubt, shoot. Here's that 10th rebound we were talking about.
And Young with the three-pointer. 26 now for Young, 5 three-pointers.
Shot clock hits 10. That shot is blocked.
What leads to runs, and candidly Forbes took a good shot. Could have used a shot fake and tried to gather himself. Cleveland State sitting back in that matchup zone as well. Really taking the bigs out of the game for the most part.
First three of the game will keep the streak alive. It's 880 consecutive games with a three.
And their ability to deflect basketballs and alter shots is much different than the average guard that you see.
Rattles home for James Young. Here's Young. To the basket, layup is good.
The transfer from Syracuse, who came to this program with Rob Murphy.
There's the lob pass.
Kentucky system. Continuing to coach effort. There are going to be some lapses as far as execution is concerned, but those flashes of brilliance that he hopes are still around when they make the run in March, guys.
Nice floater by Young. Nice spin move. There's Cauley Stein. That's his 5th block of the afternoon. And the alley-oop.
Harrison, the kick out. Poitras, that should have been a travel.
Yeah.
No call. The attack of the hoop by James Young. Harris, another block by Cauley Stein, his 3rd.
2 behind, still getting it.
James Young for 3. He's the shooter.
Just can't get out quick enough.
Young, straightaway 3, got it.
Stay at home on that guy.
Man, playing against Henson.
Oh, no.
Here's a steal by Young.
I saw that coming. Should have been an intentional foul, too, by Harris. Just that they worked hard at playing the curl. Young tags his guy, steps in.
Cotton, that's a 2. It's short.
Legs.
And a rebound here for Andrew Harrison to Young. Young bobbled at the alley-oop to Poitras.
Young feeding the post. Randall. Young can really shoot it and buries a 3 right there. James Young, he's taken 40% of their team's threes.
On and off, since Scott Drew has built this program into a top 20 program.
How about Young? You see the way he was covering the basketball as he rushed his way to the rim and laid it in.
Ish Wainwright, Jefferson, and O'Neal.
James Young buries it. The freshman out of Michigan who actually grew up a Kentucky fan.
One thing, if there's a couple things, now Julius Randle is going to dominate the SEC.
Young buries a 3 from the corner.
He might dominate it as well. Back to the 2-3, and they match up on the wings. Look how far out Prince is.
Young buries a huge 3. It's a 1-point game.
Well, he has been very good over his last 5 games. He's really starting to pick it up on the offensive end.
Miss Bolt, bodies crashing. Young battles and lays it in.
His lack of mobility in that set.
Poitras kicks that one out. Here's Young again and lights up a 3.
Alex Poitras gets the ball inside, and when he did, he drew a double team, kicked it immediately cross court, and Aloriaga just couldn't get it, and they're attacking a set defense. They were much more successful when they got ball reversals, made the defense move.
Young, another three, and that one rattles in. He has the hot early hand for the Cats. And averaging 14, his twin brother averaging 10 a game. Slightly different haircuts, so Coach Cal can tell them apart. Here's Young again. He's really feeling it.
Anytime you help off of James Young, you're opening up
His own pace, and it works very effectively.
He changes speeds, and he makes reads. But he's gassed right now. I mean, he's really tired.
Oh, there's Young again. He's anything but. He is on fire. He now has 14.
James Young, the lefty, coming off the low screen and caught it ready to shoot just inside the three-point line, but he'll take it anyway before anybody can block it. That was a big-time play.
He has a good half going, too, with 13. Came in averaging 20. Young again. Got it all net on a three. He's having a better first half, better than anybody with 17.
It's a little bit. They feel like, it looks like he's been going a little bit too much one-on-one.
Oh, slam! Guess who went up high? Mr. Young. And that lights up the crowd.
And then Harrison going to James Young, the lefty. That's a little bit easier than the three-pointer. Well done.
Carolina now just 2 for 6 from the line in this game. They're down a deuce. Young knocks down the three.
He can do that. He made all 4 in that game at Boise State. It's been the free throw line.
2 misses for Young, but tap back out. So he misses the 2 and knocks down the 3.
That's pretty good turnover. 41-27. But Carolina's won the turnover situation. 17 for Kentucky.
Young with the reverse to make it a 3-point game.
Terrific drive. I like that kid.
Oh, pretty well. He doesn't mind.
Hard to argue with the production he's had.
There you go. Young at the elbow. James Young, his first basket, averaging 14 points a game. Has 18.
I think Belmont's missed some opportunities to get him more involved in the offense in this second half.
Alley-oop! Out of nowhere came James Young with the left hand.
When you overpressure the basketball and you allow the defender to split it, now you got numbers on the backside, and this Wildcat team is so athletic. Beautiful pass and finish.
I'll tell you what, they are letting the big men play on the interior. Very physical down low.
That's Young. That's Kentucky's first made 3 of the game. Last year's National Junior College Player of the Year. Top of the key, and Young answers back. Off the back of the rim with the 3. Young. And a foul on Bohannon.
And again, the second shot's very similar to what we saw from Louisville. Opportunities for Kentucky, playing with a lot of confidence here in the first half. A tremendous challenge for them to get good looks.
Well, they have Poitras and Cauley-Stein down low as Young feeds it to Poitras. Some big explosions here.
Yeah, a little bit more like Russ Arena.
Russ Arena,
the last 3 times he's been here.
Harrison blocked. Mathing put back and in by Young. Intermission. It's now 4. Louisville at one point took the lead in this half. Before Kentucky went on that run. Now it's Young with a 3.
And how good has he been?
Raquez Johnson, great job, the junior. He's also from Carver High, Montgomery.
James Young knocks down the 3.
The nicest kids that he's ever coached, and I just wonder if sometimes nice kids are just not as aggressive maybe as you'd like to see. And State is back into the 2-3 zone here.
Hawkins out of the corner. No good. Followed by Young.
James Young comes to the other side of the floor and puts it back for the Cats. And State continues to scrap in battle. So impressive, their effort.
James Young won't go. It's his own miss. Another offensive rebound. That's 12 for Kentucky.
Here in Rupp Arena, sometimes it just takes kids time to adjust to their new surroundings, if you will.
Young all the way to the basket. Borkert had to get out of the way with those 2 fouls. Young sensed it, got the layup.
The freshman, Dominique Hawkins.
Hawkins kicks it to Young. Boy, Young has been their offense. That is a 3. Give him 15 points. The next closest player has 4. Gavin Ware left it short. Intimidated by Cauley Stein. Alley-oop to Poitras.
State, but again, the lack of size will not allow him to get that #1 defensive rebound.
Boy, the crowd was begging Hawkins to shoot it. Greg Sword, he's got 16 tonight. Taken away by Harrison. James Young with 26, matching his Young career high. Kentucky team doing what they do. 6 dunks tonight.
And again,
if you pick up a third. Jones tried to go in. Willie Cauley-Stein was there. Here comes Aaron Harrison. Buckle up! Oh, up high and down hard. James Young.
2 turnovers for his team. Again, no stat for that, but what an impact he makes on both ends.
It's Young. Oh, what a sweet stroke and a triple from outside.
And it comes because, again, Cauley-Stein's defense.
How many times did John Calipari tell his guys they had to shoot around? We cannot play defense on the perimeter with our hands down. Randall, his hands were down. Arkansas makes him pay.
Young on the other end, just inside the 3-point line. Draw.
What does Arkansas have to go to in a late clock situation? Who can go get their own? That's a problem for Arkansas.
Young, nice drive. James Young with 4.
Basketball fan bases are Kentucky and Arkansas in the SEC.
And of course, Rupp can have as many as 24,000, which is where we'll be a week from tonight, as a matter of fact. 3-pointer, and tipped to Young. Harrison in some traffic, got it to Young by accident, I think.
Because he can make guarded shots. He has to be foul-free remaining 2 minutes.
Just don't get an offensive foul. He gave up the ball en route to the basket. Young taking it all the way himself off the window and 1. Wow, only the second Arkansas turnover, and it changes the complexion of the game completely because Kentucky's in front again.
Bell. And right now, you're the last line of defense. When you go to attack this ball, you attack the ball, and there's no way you allow the arms to go up and the shot to even get up close to the rim. Antoine Bell just makes a half.
Young in traffic off the window and fouled by Portis. And that's 4 on Portis, and that's bad news for the interior defense of Arkansas. Randall trying to go to work through a triple team. The kick out, Harrison doesn't have time to shoot. Young does. Got it.
How good has he been in this ball game? Young, trusting the offense.
Final 20 seconds of overtime. Young for a tie. Rebound. Oh, my goodness. Point was way up. Young will try another triple. Got it.
That's 4 trips for Tennessee. 1 minute to go in the first half. Kentucky has not led today. Young trying to give them their first lead, and he does. That's his 9th of the season. He's got 12 points and 11 boards. In fact, Stokes has more rebounds than all of Kentucky, but if they keep firing from the outside like that, it's not going to matter.
You don't get a lot of opportunities against Kentucky because of the shot blocking of Cauley-Stein, and even Randall can deny shots too.
A steal, James Young, the wrecking ball. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
You want a lot of ball games.
Absolutely.
As often as they get to the line. There's the first turnover by the Aggies.
Good alert off-ball defense by Julius Randle.
Pull-up jumper just inside the 3-point line by James Young. Kentucky now with a little chance to push it here, as it was a 3-point game, and they can add before the next TV timeout. Young 3, yes! Bad stretch for A&M right there.
I mean, he was there, he was established, and he kind of backed away on the touch.
Randall, that's a tough shot from that angle with a left-hander. Shooting from the right side, but he hustled to get the loose ball. Well, that's a save by number 30. Give the points to James Young. Give the hustle to Julius Randle. Would have been 68 points if Kentucky just doubled it. But right now they've opened up a 15-point advantage, and back-to-back Aggie turnovers isn't helping the cause. That was a pass. Young did tip it in.
The greatest leaders, they eat last. The greatest leaders are the first guy to the bus, the last guy on the bus. They touch everybody as they get on the bus. All those things that are accelerated out in front of a guy like Andrew Harrison.
Bill O'Brien's the new coach of the Texans, and he knows how to coach quarterbacks. So he might be thinking about Johnny Manziel. We'll see with the draft coming up the early part of May.
I do this on camera. That's all I need to do.
I think you better leave the tossing to your wife, who's an excellent cheerleader, or was.
I just know Kentucky's cheerleader by the real deal.
Well, James Young, nobody needed to throw him up there. He went up there on his own.
He didn't get basket tossed, did he?
Well,
yeah.
He just did that all.
The best in the country, Kentucky is, in terms of the consistency that they look for out of that play. If they get the
man pulls up and way off the mark with a three. This Georgia team not very good from outside. Just 4.5 threes a game, 12th in the SEC. Young off of the line.
I'll get it and flush it home. Andrew Harrison with the assist. And the stuff shot. Georgia's very thin in the backcourt. Taylor Eccles is on the floor right now. He's a walk-on, a second-year walk-on for the Dogs.
Young for three. Man down the lane, throws it away. Had Williams wide open. Instead, it's Young.
Young is so impressive athletically. Georgia just hanging around here.
Randall gets triple team, so finds Young for three. Young out of the corner for three. His third three of the game. And Young into double figures with 10.
Numbers. But in terms of doing what he did against Georgia with 8 points, 6 rebounds, 6 blocks.
There's a big one from the outside. James Young, the best three-point shooter Kentucky's got, by Hickey from the outside.
First bad decision Hickey has made so far. He's made great decisions on where to take the ball.
Young, nice drive. He's got the last 5 points. James Young, the freshman. Over behind the back pass. And in traffic, they do. Turn it over down the baseline. Young pull up from the elbow. Got it.
Smart. Same thing. Smart. It's when people say, hey, this isn't high school anymore. That is a perfect example. Just get it out of there and live to fight another day.
Paulson, the lob back door to Young with the left hand.
It's unbelievable by Young. Wasn't a great pass. Young hit it on the front of the rim that squeaked it through.
Florida's moved up to number 3. We'll see them next week on Super Tuesday. And it'll be against the aforementioned Missouri Tigers, who won tonight in Fayetteville. Three-pointer. James Young, he shot it well out there. That's his 44th three-pointer of the year, and that's considerably ahead of any other freshman in the SEC. He's got 17.
Again, competing and just playing. You know, Kentucky's guys are standing around watching, particularly the Harrisons.
There's a nice feed from Young to Cauley Stein. That's Cauley Stein's first field goal.
Man, has he been good.
Young, he'll try 3. Got it. Backcourt, the one that started the season, on the floor for LSU, along with Coleman and Mickey and Darrell Martin. So a young front court and a small backcourt on the floor right now for LSU. Dakari Johnson draws a triple team. Young is open for 3 and got it.
That's a bad triple team.
Second, 14 for him. Great balance tonight. I mean, Johnny O'Brien's had a lot of points, but LSU's had everybody contributing. Young, another 3. That's his 5th of the night.
A wing than a true guard because he can hurt you inside and on the glass. Really well put together at about 6'5", 225 pounds.
So 9-6 the score. Here's Young with the drive and the two-handed slam. 5-point lead. Watch this eruption right to the rim for James Young and the Wildcats.
No, but you think about Willie Cauley-Stein and Dakari Johnson, that size and length on the back line can be very effective in the zone.
Well, Young tried to get through that zone, and that's the first field goal in the last 5.5 minutes for Kentucky. Class A title in Michigan. Young from way downtown, and it's good. Over the top of Clarkson.
He He's been on some kind of tear the last 5 games. Now, at the defensive end, Missouri has to do a good job at the point of attack and then minimize second shot opportunities. But right now, Kentucky getting too much in the paint area, Tom. Florida team, so I think that's a nice get for Billy Donovan and his program.
Kentucky with the lead, 46-37. Here's Young for 3. It's good.
Shooting the ball well, you've got to get yourself ready to shoot, and you've got to be ready to catch there, and Rossberg was not.
Boy, they worked on that an awful lot yesterday at practice, and Young with continuation, count it, and the foul.
Laser, and then on the drive, able to get his body. Wow. Degree of difficulty right in that 8-9 range.
So under 16 to play. Young's had the hot hand, and he continues to smoke it from the outside.
How about here in the second half, Tom?
Shot clock under 10. Here's Young for 3. Good! And kicking back and forth we go offensively. Randall with great recognition, and Young has had the hot hand.
Aaron Harrison from his brother Andrew. And now around a Cauley-Stein screen. James Young into the lane with a tough shot. Back-to-back 20-point games for the freshman out of Rochester Hills, Michigan. First half of the season, 1 point, 1 rebound. Took just 1 shot from the field. Anthony Perez goes into contact. Anderson will pop from out here. Tried to thread one into Jones, but it was stolen away. Young able to lay it in. Kentucky off to a good start in the second half.
State will zone on underneath out of bounds. Try to pack it in around Randall.
Young knocks down the floater.
By John Calipari is to stay back, stay in front, and keep the ball out of the lane. Shoot over 2 hands, block out and rebound.
Here's Young. Boy, doing just what he did the first time these two teams met, coming off to a hot start. And comes and finds it with the shot clock down to 10. Cauley-Stein, James Young with 7 quick points for Kentucky.
And I thought he got hit on the arm.
Either way, charge, block fouls. Ends up being a block against the Auburn Tigers.
Well, it was definitely a charge, but the defensive player was standing in the restricted arc under the basket. And when that happens, it's an automatic charge.
Here's in the country this year. Into the corner. The 3 is no good for Michael Frazier, who is their best shooter. And back come the Wildcats. Young is open.
Oh, do they need that from Young?
Almost running right up the back of his teammate, Dakari Johnson. Now here's a touch. Randall the kick. Young, the 10-footer. Good start tonight for James Young.
We were blown away by his time.
Finney Smith misses the 3. Some quick shots at both ends recently. Young cradles, banks, and finishes. SEC had only 2 teams go to the tournament. It was 1979 when only 40 teams were invited to the NCAA. Young with a floater.
Down to Connecticut, Ennis with Syracuse.
Good ball movement. Young gets a good look at it.
I mean, it's unbelievable the way he's shooting here tonight.
Cauley-Stein defended by Get. Young on the bench for Florida.
Got to get Randall touches inside.
Randall kicks it out, give him an assist on the 3 by James Young.
And all did they need it.
Prather.
Got numbers. Got another one at Cauley-Stein running.
Young lays it in, another assist for Randall.
They got to do more of that, baby. Run, baby, run. Thoroughbreds. Oh, nothing but nylon. And look at Randall handle the rock. Great job, great look. And Mr. Young finishes.
To Cauley-Stein, who just checked in. He's been the starter most of the year. Here's Young for 3.
Ole Miss gambles, they go zone, and Young is the guy that can shoot him out of that zone defense.
12, and he won't be back out there for quite a while, I wouldn't guess, in this half, if at all.
As they shrink the gap zone by Ole Miss. And when you shrink the gap, and you shrink the floor, and you give up a lot of play around the rim, you're not ready to play.
A tough shot by Anthony Perez. And finally, the drought for the Rebels is over. Another lob. Same result. James Young again in the first half. Young at back-to-back easy backdoor lobs for the dunk. That's given Kentucky, Georgia at Tennessee as part 2 of Super Tuesday.
What a blessing that thing didn't fall about 8 hours later, huh?
No kidding. There's another lob attempt. Young got it back because Randall couldn't handle it, and he got it in before the buzzer. And now the runner by Summers won't go. Young for three. Just getting worse instead of better for the Rebels. They don't get back quick enough on defense, and Young makes them pay.
Young on the drive. Tough shot and gets it to fall with the offhand. All because of Kentucky screening the top of the zone. 1 point game. Screen the top of the zone, get ball reversal. Drivers thrive off of ball reversal against Manor at 15. One more pass. There it is, and Young from the baseline. That's what happens. That's not the extra pass. That's the right pass. It's Jordan Mickey's first field goal of the ball game. He's been kind of conspicuous by his silence. He averages about 14 per. Young on the drive through traffic. Young again. This one goes. That's really good action again. 4 guys across the top of that zone. Young on the drive. Got all the way to the front of the rim. From the top of the zone. I thought that's who Kentucky would go to try to close out that regulation. Look how low that zone's packed in. 5'9" guards that have their feet just outside the paint. They let Young in a nice rhythm here on the last couple of shots. Putting his head down, and he's got 18. Aaron Harrison has 21, leading the way for Kentucky.
No, he didn't just look like he traveled. That was an absolute missed call there. Well, that's one of the things that about a lot of things, Reese, if there's a missed call that leads to a bucket.
Receiver.
So I'd
like to have him in the red zone, huh?
I wouldn't want him if I was the basketball coach in the red zone.
James Young used the right play for the Wildcats coach.
Okay, we're going to see a drive all the way to the bucket. 3 red little bit where he can drive Carly Stein. That might help him from a foul standpoint.
Turnover. Cats on the move. James Young.
They don't foul. They make him get something, and they're going to take it to the bucket. That's not going to. Oh, good. That's a huge 3.
James Young knocking down the 3. Boy, you don't have to have it, but it's nice if you can get it. Does he have big shots in Fayetteville?
Right, here's the point Arkansas is in now. They got to get it.
South Carolina again, they get off at the 3-point line. Kentucky has to chase them off the 3-point line all night long. Long jumper by Young is good. Kentucky not a great 3-point shooting team. Thornwell got to go with it. The floater short. And rebounded by Julius Randle, who has yet to score in this game still. Young fires away and knocks down the mid-range shot. Davis and Kansas, Oklahoma State coming up at 9 o'clock. Young got the 3 ball, and it's a 4-point game with plenty of time. Reversal against the zone. Boom, there's Willie Cauley-Stein. Spreads out now, it's 2-on-1 on the weak side. And that put Thornwell in a bad position. He had to come at the basketball, and Young dials it up. Very nice job by Robick to see what he wanted to get done. Communicate like that. Sometimes it doesn't show up with a throw to the low post. It throws up with the inability to keep size off of the backboard. Young from deep. Got it! A huge shot by James Young.
Olsen had an open 3 and didn't take it. Young will take another from the same spot.
Different result. Different result because it was different offense.
Bombs on the bottom of your screen. That's where we're basically sitting. Young for 3. So good from the outside. He's been cold lately, but they need him to can those 3s.
Couldn't get through. Catch it, hold it, and see what happens.
Bakari Johnson with the kick outside. The 3 is good, and the foul. Well, that's got to make Kentucky feel great that James Young, struggling so much recently.
Exactly, and you know, it goes inside out, too. You make them pay when they are double teaming down deep.
It's down a little bit more.
Wow, every time Randall catches is he getting double teamed.
Young for 3, it's good. That's 3 here in the first half.
And that's what they have to do in terms of making them pay. They go down, they're going to double team Randall.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about 85 minutes of zone defense Kentucky faced in their 2 games. And there's James Young.
In this league that physically can match up with the bodies of Kentucky and really physically match up with any team in the country.
Harrison kicks it out to Young, tries again, got it again. Partner, we're in a shootout. Malone picks up that foul for LSU. Malone hasn't played a whole lot.
Nice move by Young again.
For the last 6 minutes. Here's Johnson one-on-one on O'Brien, and Dakari got it to the rim, but a second chance for the Wildcats. Here's Young, got it.
Dave, here's what you want to notice. LSU is big and strong and powerful, but Kentucky has taken the power to them this first half.
James Young, their best three-point shooter in terms of makes this year. He's 10th in the conference in three-pointers made. Knocks that one home, and he to defend that, is there?
No, there's no, I know. Too tall, and he jumps too high. Soft touch.
The steal by Andrew Harrison. Off to Young.
Make steals, be active, but more importantly, sharing the basketball. Allowing teammates. Rex Chapman heard that and thought, what?
Yeah.
Another offensive rebound on a missed free throw.
Jumper by Young is good. What a half for James Young. 16 points to lead everybody.
Want to keep the Harrison twins apart today. Andrew's wearing blue shoes. His brother's wearing black. Young, long range. He's so good at that. His 71st three-pointer of the year. He's going to take it. Thought about it too long, maybe. Came up short. Young, wide open. Got it. Timeout, Georgia.
He's only taken 9 3-point shots. I say it all the time. The bad shot bone's connected to the bad transition defense bone.
Remember, Young had a couple of fouls in the first half, too, taking away this guy and that kind of play.
I like what they do with James Young. They get him running back to his right shoulder because he's left-handed, so automatically in stride, he's a step closer to the basket. The small side of the zone, Brad, is up top, where Frazier is now.
Young hesitated on taking a three and instead drives in and buries the floater for his 10th point. Hitting that, but with nobody home on the rebound except white jerseys. He'll try another one. And it goes in on the tip, trying to get the rebound. Young knocked it in off the window.
Now on the next play, look at James Young come in and just knocks Frazier out of the way. And the long reach around the rim is an offensive rebound. And Kentucky right now firing on all cylinders, and Mark Fox says he sticks a three. Kentucky, boy, Brett, their body language as good as I've seen all year right now.
And now with the turnover, Young with a slam. Kentucky starting to roll toward the Gators tomorrow afternoon.
I've said it all year long. John Calipari's teams, when they win a national championship or make deep runs, they smother you defensively, and they get out and they finish at the other end within 3 or 4 seconds of the shot clock. James Young got that one down, Brad, and there were still 32 seconds to go. So they better than anyone else I've seen in the college game. They make a mistake, and the trust factor built in behind is at a high level.
Young off balance, hits the deck as he hits the shot. Poitras in the lineup for Kentucky. Young, who hit the last shot, is going to try to drive and lob to Cauley-Stein.
Maybe that's the counter that Kentucky has for the pressure.
In fact, that's a career high in points right now for Chris Walker with 5. Nice move by Young, and he will have a chance for a three-point play.
And just when I talked about how terrific Florida is on the back end of their press breaker, and then you can reverse the ball to the far side and get a baseline attack, but it's not easy to do.
Cauley-Stein, here comes, well, he took one bounce and then didn't press Patrick Young. Instead, he got it out to James Young.
To do is get it up and in because of the threat of the recovery speed from Kentucky around the rim. James
become, I think, more effective defensively, and right on point there, Willie Cauley-Stein with the steal.
To Young. Young, tough shot.
with 2 fouls.
Well, we talked about at the top, could Spradling do the job of containment and without fouling, unable to here in the first half.
Young shot deflected. Second chance. Drops. +1.
And penetration. And even though he gets the block, doesn't give up on the play there. And just the presence.
Young hits the shot with a player all over him.
Randall to Young, and Young hits another 3 for the Wildcats. A 7-point run by the Shockers. Young got caught, got it back. Tough shot, got it to go. He can do that. With 7 to shoot. Paulson gives it up to Randall. Way outside. And now the perimeter shot by Young.
Boy, was that big.
Wow, they needed that.
How big, and good decision by Paulson to make that extra pass, caught Cotton off guard. And James Young with the triple.
He is tripped up. And he's still slow to his feet. Kentucky has numbers. As Young comes in and gives Kentucky the lead by 1.
And I tell you what, Kentucky early offense there in transition.
Harrison, who hit that big bank shot from over there and is late going. Young with a 3.
Between these two teams from earlier this season, I think that's the biggest, is his improvement.
Aaron Harrison takes it away to Andrew and over to Young for the layup.
To that, mixing their defenses, but ultimately it's about their ability again to load and keep the Harrisons on the perimeter.
Young, his second basket. Harrison lobs it for Young.
And a really good job. They're going to make you pay.
Last 9 points to the Wolverines as Young takes it in and almost had that one tied up, and his strength powered him on through to make the shot. Kentucky going without Randall, who has only 2 points and 1 rebound, as Young swishes it home from 3. Wanted a call on the floor. Randall able to toss it over to Andrew Harrison. Here's Young. He's hit 1 already. Make it 2. Lee on the floor trying to set a pick. It's Young on Urban, and Young has the hot hand for Kentucky.
Now this stretch, there's no Randall or Johnson on the floor for Kentucky.
Here's Young. Young has not missed tonight. He's 5 for 5, including 3 of 3 from the outside. Gets it back. Out to Young, and he hits the 3.
Biggest difference, and you guys have seen every Kentucky game in the tournament.
To a transition opportunity for the Badgers.
Here's Young, cradling it and scoring off the glass.
I'm not sure Wisconsin's gotten the memo yet, but you know, James Young is left-handed.
So they get great spacing to go along with that cutting, and it's a nightmare to go.
Oh! And Young to Poitras. Here's Takari Johnson. And now Young. And he makes the move one more time.
The left hand again. You hate to beat a dead horse, but you've got to know the personnel you're competing against. And James Young is a left-hand dominant player here. What a beautiful finish there as he split the defenders to get the shot off.
And he's such a good shooter from the perimeter that Wisconsin is so conscious of closing out on him. They're over closing out, allowing him to get to the left.
And he gets a 4-point trip out of it and brings the Wildcats within 1.
And footwork with Takari Johnson.
Randall has checked back in. It's Young with the jumper, and he's having a good night. Young with 17, tops for the Wildcats.
Against guards and still recover to get to the paint to contest shots. That is a vital asset to lose for Kentucky.
Here's James Young getting it his way again. He was effective on Saturday, had a game-high 17 for Kentucky against Wisconsin, and he kept taking it to the paint like we've seen twice already.
An elaborate offensive scheming team, and you got a bunch of freshmen, so this is a huge challenge.
Young's able to knock that one down, and Randall, the second magnificent block tonight. Andrew Harris again. Got the tough angle, but got the pass out, and Young is able to hit the jumper.
And that play is important because Andrew Harrison made a play for a teammate on a pace for every possession, never overextends, and really takes himself out of the game.
Young able to get in, and slam it home, and to the line.
And I believe that's going to be 4 on Brima. This is spectacular.
It is spectacular. And how about this? As Brima gets a piece of it, but he's still able to power through here. Watch there. He gets a piece of it, able to still power through. And that possession, too. Really, that's Terrence Samuel, though, has done the job. Kentucky offensively has been spectacular this entire tournament.
Young able to slide in there for the 2.